The biggest bodybuilding event of the year is finally over. The event brought best talented athletes from all over the world. So Juan Morel could not crack top 15. It was hard for him to manage this Olympia prep, as he said earlier.
I just want to say, this prep was really hard for me. Really hard.
But he didn't give up and finished at 16th place. I believe he was much smaller than his usual appearance. From Canada, Regan Grimes took 15th place for his first appearance in the Olympia Open Bodybuilding. He was definitely in good shape, but he needs size to fight with top contenders. He is young, 27 years old, and has much time to put on quality muscles. Regan's shape is good, the lines are very appealing, but of course, when it comes to muscle mass, he has no chance against the world's elite bodybuilders. Another Canadian contender, Antoine Vaillant, finally participated also very first time after many setbacks in his life. He brought his best package, he was bigger, fuller comparing to his last show. Antoine took 14th place in 2020 Mr. Olympia. So for the 13th place, the next contender is Maxx Chul. When it comes to condition and vascularity, 40 years old Maxx stands above the rest. Specifically, his front poses are incredible, but his legs and back shots could not help him to crack top 10 this year. So all the way from South Korea, Seung Chul, who came to compete very first time in Mr. Olympia, and also first Korean bodybuilder who qualified to step on Mr. Olympia stage, ended up taking 12th place. He brought very decent shape, he was sharp, had smaller midsection, and it would be interesting seeing him competing next year with the better package. Next on the list we have Lukas Osladil, who ended up finishing at 11th place. The man from Czech Republic is known for his fantastic condition and great posing routines. But in condition standpoint, Lukas was much sharper and drier in 2019 Mr. Olympia, where he took 8th place. One of the most improved bodybuilder in Mr. Olympia 2020 lineup, Justin Rodriguez, presented very balanced physique at 252 pounds. In his second appearance in the Mr. Olympia, he ultimately cracked top 10, and I believe he really deserved this place. Comparing with first appearance in 2018 Olympia, arguably he has improved drastically in 2020 Mr. Olympia. And finally, legend Dexter Jackson made his final appearance on stage as he planned to retire this year's competition with total 29 wins at the age of 51. Dexter took 9th place in his last competition, and in 2019 Olympia he ended up in 4th place, where I believe he brought overall better package, exclusively his midsection compared to this year Olympia. His last posing routine in the biggest bodybuilding show made him very emotional, and surely we will not see Dexter the Vaillant Jackson again competing in Mr. Olympia. Hunter Labrada, son of legendary bodybuilder Labrada, has made a memorable history after finishing at 8th place. Like his father, Hunter dominated the amateur and NPC bodybuilding shows in Texas. Both father and son won their NPC nationals, as well as both won their very first IFBB Pro debut shows. And now, incredibly, Hunter has cracked top 10 in his very first Olympia appearance, like his father did. Now after 27 years, Hunter Labrada has finally brought back the Labrada name to where it belongs, absolutely, on the Mr. Olympia stage. Another very improved contender, Valliere, ended up taking 7th place this year, whereas he took 14th place in his very first Olympia appearance, which was 2018. In size standpoint, he brought almost the same package, but in terms of condition wise, he has significantly improved. That's how he could beat Hunter Labrada and Dexter Jackson. Akim Williams is simply fantastic. He has shocked everyone by cracking top 6 this year, which is his best Olympia placing so far. Akim has brought very well balanced physique. He is coming every year with extreme improved version, and possibly next year he might be top 3 if he keeps improving himself. Last year runner-up of Mr. Olympia and winner of 2020 Arnold Classic, William Bonac, was very impressive in size and conditioning. I believe he brought bigger and fuller version than 2019 Mr. Olympia, but he could not manage or improve his placing this year. From my standpoint, his structural issues keep him away from fighting for the top spot and hinders him beating conditioned Big Ramy and Brandon Curry. He was in the mix with the top athletes during the entire pre-judging, but he was left out in the final call-out and was beaten by Hadi Choopan, which made him finish at 5th place with $40,000 prize money. And 4th place is given to Persian Wolf Hadi Choopan with $45,000 as a prize money, which I personally believe he deserved to be at least in 3rd place. He was clearly beating Phil Heath from a standpoint. Hadi is a great athlete and he brought almost the same package like last year in size-wise and condition-wise. But his back double bicep shot is clearly weak, specifically his shoulders look very soft. But he has earned enough strong points to pull off impressive 4th place. Hadi Choopan's condition was improving as he continued posing compared to William Bonac, Phil and Brandon Curry. Arguably, Hadi had the best condition with deep cuts and paper-thin skin. He was very striated as well as his legs were well separated. So 7-time champ Phil Heath returned to the Olympia stage for winning his 8th Centaur trophy. But he ended up earning 3rd place possibly in his last Olympia appearance. From my standpoint, Phil was a bit watery and off compared to his trademark crazy condition, as he is known for bringing insane conditioning on stage. Everyone was hoping that Phil is going to come with a very flat stomach, and he well controlled his midsection in individual posing routines, but later on he started to let it go. He looked really good, but it was very obvious that he still had some difficulty controlling his midsection. In regards to his back shots, leg development and some front shots, Phil is still unbeatable. But in regards to shots that involve his abdominal, he lost some points there. Also, Phil's legs were in downsize and we could not see cross-striated chest as he used to have before. He was narrow compared to Big Ramy, so Big Ramy had advantage beating him in all front shots, while Phil was good in back shots and side triceps. 2019 Mr. Olympia winner Brandon Curry arrived at 2nd place and brought his best condition exclusively. His V-taper was extremely impressive. He came with definitely a tiniest midsection. I must say Brandon has visibly improved his legs, but still his quads, hamstrings and glutes are not up to the upper body standards. His legs don't match with his massive upper frame. From my point of view, if Brandon had better legs development, I strongly believe Big Ramy could not beat him for sure. But we see the 2019 Mr. Olympia Brandon Curry looked better than ever as he planned and tried his best to retain his title and legitimize himself as the best bodybuilder in the world. So finally we have 16th Olympia champion Big Ramy all the way from Egypt. Without a doubt, Big Ramy brought best shape ever of his life. His midsection was so much controlled and no breathing issue he had. Even after many posing rounds where obviously Phil Heath could not manage his midsection and it was getting difficult for him to hit a pose. No doubt Big Ramy has improved a lot but still loses a bit in the lower back areas where the detail was missing. But overall he was unbeatable this time. If I am not wrong, so Big Ramy is first Olympia winner who won this show by beating 3 former Mr. Olympia winners: Dexter Jackson, Brandon Curry and Phil Heath. Dennis James and Chad Nichols, they finally brought the best Big Ramy to the Olympia stage with tremendous size, deep curves in abs, roundness, fullness and impressive width at 290 pounds. Congratulations to Big Ramy for winning his first ever Mr. Olympia title and earning $400,000 prize money.